Good afternoon and welcome in. I'm Sam Kuperman. That's Nick Mantegna. Nick, we've been talking for weeks about this game. It's been a little while since you've gotten to call Denver in a broadcast, and of course this team boasts a lot of history. The Villanova Wildcats knocked them out of the 2022 Big East semifinals, but Denver's had their number historically. We'll see what gives today.
And Denver beat Villanova last year in the Big East tournament. But the nice thing is the Wildcats, like you said, Sam, they've been able to finally take down Denver in recent years. And it's been a good rivalry all of a sudden. And Denver's experienced, Villanova's a little bit younger, but we'll see how they fare today.
Yeah, we'll see how the Big East standings shape up this year. First, let's look at what the preseason predictions were. And the defending champs, the Georgetown Hoyas, picked atop Denver, then Villanova. The top three, Marquette, Providence, St. John's, rounding things out. And now let's look at who some of the top players were projected to be coming into the Big East slate. And you see a lot of Pios on there. Mercurio, Silstrop, and Stathakis are all there for Denver. Reed Caldwell for the Villanova Wildcats.
Graham Bundy back for his extra year. Awesome step-down shooter, of course. Mason Woodward's the preseason defensive player of the year. Marquette playing St. John's right now, and should be a great conference season where maybe it's up for grabs, or does Georgetown take the title again? We'll find out.
Yeah, it's felt like a year nobody's truly had a grasp on the top team in general. Stathakis, he's been terrific, winning over 59% of his face-offs, and Thornton watch list, he's going to be a tough one at the face-off X to go against today.
And breaking news, Justin Coppola, Villanova's excellent face-off specialist, fifth-year guy like Stathakis, he's out for today, got injured against Brown, so that's the story of the day. It's been a decade of dominance at the X for Denver. Matt Brown, the new coach, former assistant, has a gem as Stathakis is 12th in NCAA history in face-off wins between Trevor Baptiste and then T.D. Erlin for a cup of coffee, and now with Stathakis, they win a ton of face-offs, obviously, every single year.
Coppola's taken all but 29 of Villanova's face-offs this year, so that's going to be important to watch. For the Villanova Wildcats, they've been getting some awesome offensive production from Colin Mishner. I mean, you look at his numbers, 4 goals against Brown, leading the team with 24 goals on the year.
And he's been banged up since he got here, missing all of last year with an injury, but he's come on with a bang here in his sophomore campaign. And he's tough to stop because of his size, his speed, he can dodge, and his shooting's gotten better. He even had that slick B2B and was awesome against Brown, and I think he's found his groove as of late.
Well, Nick, you just got a chance to catch up with the head man of the Villanova Wildcats, Mike Corrado, so let's see what he had to say.
Coach, conference play is here. The Big East is awesome every year. How do you get off to a good start?
Well, you know, playing Denver today has gotten off to a great start this year, so I think it's just a matter of being consistent. You know, the Brown game, we up and down a little bit. I thought Navy was a real consistent effort, so I think we have to play 60 minutes of lacrosse because this team's experienced, and a lot of older guys on the team, and going to be a real challenge for us.
You've won 3 in a row and 6 of 7. What's been the key in this team's maturation?
I think you're starting to see some of our younger guys get better. Our goalie, Anthony Wilson's been phenomenal the last couple of games. Colin Mishner's really coming into his own, our leading goal scorer. You know, Nick Lucchese, those younger guys that are playing are starting to get better, and I think we're starting to gel more as a team.
Best of luck today, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
So we're underway here from Villanova Stadium. Sam Kuperman, Nick Mantegna. And Villanova with possession here. Again, the face-off X going to be important today, so we'll monitor that as things proceed.
So it was a violation, and Villanova gets an early break because you figure Stathakis is going to win a lot without Coppola out.
Licata wraparound, and he couldn't find the net. And it's picked up by Denver. Jake Ettinger had the assignment on Villanova's top point getter, the senior from Sandown, New Hampshire. And here come the Pios.
And Ettinger is an experienced short stick, so that's not quite the big advantage. 10-man ride shot. Oh, look at Wilson making the save there, Sam.
Yeah, you just heard Coach Corrado talking about Anthony Wilson. He's played every minute in goal for the Wildcats this season. So we get right to action as Jones brings it ahead.
Brown got a 10-man ride goal on Monday, and boy, how about they call him Tony now. Tony the Wildcat making some big stops. He's great, right, Sam?
Yeah, so you can confirm that he's gone from Anthony to Tony. We've shortened it?
Yeah, we could call him either. So
okay.
Sure, he's fine with both. This is good, getting possessions early. You didn't expect that right off the bat.
Yeah, the big story, Justin Coppola not going for Villanova. Got banged up in the Brown game. So Cunningham, you figure, is going to take most, if not all, of the faceoffs for the Villanova Wildcats. So that's a different set of circumstances. Casey gives it up.
But Brown's playing a different style of defense under Matt Brown. Now that Bill Tierney's retired. He was supposed to be here at the game. He just got named the head coach of the Philadelphia Water Dogs of the PLL. But he's at Princeton today for a special ceremony. Denver has it, Sam.
And so we'll see the Pioneers that like to move quickly get a long pole shot that won't go.
They've had some pole goals the last couple years. They're good at transition, but then they like to slow it down methodically like the old Denver teams. But this is big, Villanova getting the ball a lot. That's the difference. Denver's not packing it in anymore. They're pressing out and getting more caused turnovers like Villanova, and that's to protect their goalies. And credit to Matt Brown. He told us the game plan, and he was very open and honest about that.
It was Dan Anderson on that last shot for the Pios. So 3 minutes in, still looking for the first tally. Licata drawing a lot of attention.
Yeah, it could be Jack DiBenedetto on Licata today.
Villanova strikes first. Dan Martin buries the shot.
Yeah, there was no slide there, and you can get some off-ball looks against Denver with the way they play defense now, but he was wide open. That was a simple dodge as Denver just missed the assignment there. At Villanova, that was what Matt Brown was worried about. They don't have just one guy like Matt Campbell anymore, as we've chronicled this year. It could be 6 or 7 guys who hurt you, and I'm sure Matt Brown knows that. He told us that yesterday. We have to keep our eye on everybody.
Yeah, he really praised Villanova's ability to share the ball, their ball movement, player movement. So Martin with the goal, is 9th of the year, 10th point for the junior from Wall, New Jersey. So second face-off of the game. Villanova again on the violation, took the first. But Stathakis, who we just highlighted, rumbles in, goes down.
And again, face-off win, but no possession because Villanova got the turnover, but they give it right back.
Yeah, you may have spoke too soon there. Denver, they want to move quickly.
And the failed clearing by Villanova. It's been better as of late, but that's a big play there, giving the ball right back to Denver, as you might have had another possession, Sam.
And here's their top scorer, Silstrop, loops the pass outside. He was momentarily matched up with Reed Caldwell. Wharton watch list the start of the season for the Wildcats, preseason All Big East.
And David Ivanchik's out again, one of Villanova's top defenders.
The Pios trying to get busy on offense.
They have slick finishers every year, experienced guys who shoot the ball well, Sam. So even when they're tightly guarded, they can still finish.
Aiden Ahern is started now the last 4 games for Villanova. I mentioned Ivanchik being out, so it's a bit of a younger defense for Villanova.
But they played extraordinarily well.
Broken up on the way in. Shoemaker got his stick on it. Nice job by the Wildcat sophomore defenseman from Los Angeles.
Yeah, Jack's been really good the last couple of games. Awesome against Navy. One of their best wins of the year. They dominated the mids. Joe Amplo was almost embarrassed. He was quoted saying how much Villanova handled that game and in almost every department.
Villanova 6-3, 3-game win streak. Denver 6-2, coming off the loss to Duke, who is at Archbishop Spalding High School in Severn, Maryland, outside of Baltimore. Shot goes wide that time from Lucas Newton, and back up there for the Wildcats.
And Newton had an opening, but he waited, and then the stick check arrived by Denver.
Licata puts the brakes on, nowhere to go. Jimmy Freehill was marking him. Martin scored the first goal. Doesn't have the second one. The big body of Malcolm Kleben getting in the way in the crease. 6 foot 260. That dude is just a brick wall there.
So that hit the pipe, so it resets the shot clock.
Got behind the goal.
You have to shoot high on Malcolm Kleben. He can stop shots low. He might give up some low rebounds, Sam, so I'm curious to see where they shoot on him because he is a big guy.
Trying to force it away from Michener. In some trouble. Pios create a turnover.
Yeah, that's new for Denver. They hadn't been doing that in the past. They're now pressing out a bit more.
Talked about their pace. They're moving quickly, turning it to a bit of a track meet.
So will Villanova 10-man a little bit less just because Denver is pushing the pace a bit more? Because they do like to go settled once it is a more fixed type of situation, 6-on-6, and they'll play slow and methodically like the old Bill Tierney teams.
And Bill Tierney now with the Water Dogs and at Princeton today to take in that game against Dartmouth, but still somebody that very much is the foundation of this Denver program, winning the national title in 2015.
He was supposed to be here, and they thought he might be, which would have been really neat.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Brown could not have said any more complimentary things about Bill Tierney. He said the biggest piece of advice he gave him, just to be himself as a coach. Shot was deflected on the way in. The shot coming from Richie Connell. And here comes Villanova. They've cleaned up nicely on the defensive end.
Yeah, organized. Everybody knows everybody. They thought this would be a big-time team defensively. Just got off to a bit of a slow start, of course, against good teams like Penn State and Yale. But Villanova's strength of schedule is number 12. Both RPIs are good for each of these teams.
Anderson with the check. And here comes Denver.
And more takeaways this year for the Pios.
A little 6-on-5 developing. Villanova gets the 6th in there, and now can the Wildcats get another stop here?
And because both teams like to cause turnovers, and both teams have, I think, found their groove defensively, maybe less face-offs, lower scoring, that benefits Villanova without Coppola today, Sam.
Yeah, so again, to reiterate, Justin Coppola, a monster at the face-off X for Villanova. He had taken almost every face-off for Villanova this year and has been winning at a nearly 63% clip. But you don't have him in there.
He's the best in program history by far.
Yeah, Ryan Cunningham, a freshman, presumably will take most, if not all, of the face-offs for Villanova with the absence of Coppola. Shot bounces wide that time from Silstrop and stays with Denver with 24 to shoot.
There's a lot of really good, experienced players back for Denver again this year. Maybe not a Connor Cannizzaro or a Wes Berg, but they have guys who can do the job.
Villanova coming off holding ground to 5 goals defensively. Zupasic puts the clamps on, picks that up, and makes the pass across his body. So here come the Wildcats. Quick movement ahead. Newton back to X. Licata's there, matched up with Freehill.
And I don't know if Villanova can get transition today because Denver knows how to get back. But if Villanova can sneak in some transition goals, where Zupasic has been great for Nova, the new long stick midi, Ohio State transfer, just named a midseason All-American, leads the country and caused turnovers. That could be an advantage for Nova.
Yeah, Matt Brown highlighted him during our conversation with him yesterday and the impact he has on the game. Licata lost it on the way in. Some really strong defense for Denver. Freehill putting the clamps on. So a nice Denver section here. I mean, they get players from all over the country and certainly get a fair amount from this area, and even not quite from this area. If you're a family member, friend of a Pios player from New York or somewhere else, driving distance, come out to a game like this, and with the schedule they play, they make it to the East Coast a fair amount.
20 different states are represented, plus all the Canadians they get every single year. And Matt Brown really helping that influence in recruiting through the years. He's a Canada guy, head coach of Team Canada, coached the World Cup team over the summer, of course, lost in the final to the USA.
Half a minute to shoot. Carlson had the miss on the last shot. Good look here, and that gets by the keeper, Wilson. Noah Manning, fittingly a Canadian, the first to score for Denver. We're tied.
That's what they've had through the years. He's their best shooter, 12th in the country at 48%. He's always been a good shooter. Had 3 goals against Villanova in the Big East semifinals last year. At times he looks like their best player, but sometimes it's Silstrop. Again, another story of 2 teams where 6 or 7 different guys could be the hero.
Well, last year in the Big East semifinal, he had 3 goals and an assist against Villanova. And Noah Manning's got the first of the day, his 15th of the year. Second on the team in goals scored. Bathakis wins the faceoff for Denver.
Now Scott Mackey has taken a faceoff. And it's mostly been Ryan Cunningham, the freshman. You might even see George Glom, the rookie. There's another 10-man shot.
Doesn't go that time, and we're going to see Denver against the 10-man ride. They've taken a couple so far in this first.
If they have the backup, why not do it, right? Because teams do that all the time, and it's very routine, and teams are doing it against Villanova. That's what the Wildcats want. That's the point of the 10-man ride, to bait teams into shooting that to try and get a takeaway.
Avery the dish.
Reed Caldwell having such a big season, number 17 in white. Not only the preseason accolades, but he earns his keep. He's been in the right spot every time.
Wilson gets the save that time with a running shot from Avery. Gets another stop as Manning could not bury the shot from afar.
And I think it took a few games for Anthony Wilson, first-year starter, but boys, he picked his game up big time the last couple weeks.
Yeah, redshirt freshman got to learn from Will Baton last year, two-time All-Big East goalie for the Wildcats. So off that barrage of shots, a lot of time for the Pios to work with the shot clock resetting. Strip, and the takeaway. Dupicic just trying to fling it ahead.
These are big. Matt Brown, Coach Corrado telling us, of course, 50-50 balls in the middle of the field.
Yeah, ground ball is the great equalizer, and it is Dupicic who scoops that up.
Calling a timeout maybe is Coach Corrado to try and get a settled possession because Denver's been taking it away. Justin Turry will get that team straightened out.
And they're going to play Denver Friday when they play in Mountain Time.
So let's see what Simon Connor can cook up here on offense.
Martin's got the lone goal. Goes back to X with it. Newton trying to free himself.
So Lucas has a shorty.
Rather, that time it was actually Luke Raymond. Beg your pardon there.
They were sliding towards Licata.
Shot from distance goes astray. Tyler Bowes trying to find the net. Back up there, and 40 to shoot.
Tyler Bowes is much improved. He's been shooting well, feeding. A big-time part of the offense this year for Nova.
Way too high for Michener. So we'll see what Villanova can do. They're not really getting too much penetration early on, it seems.
Denver's athletic every year, and they have a veteran defense. And Jack DiBenedetto was all over Michener that time.
31 in red. Want to look out for him. He's one of their stalwarts. Denver number 10, number 9, depending on which ranking system you like to look at in the latest national polls. Briefly appeared at number 1 this season. And the shot clock expires.
Yeah, I don't think Tyler Bowes realized it.
A lot of jumping up and down on that Denver sideline. Thought they waited a little too long to call it, maybe.
Between Freeland and Hagland and DiBenedetto, that's a veteran defense, all conference guys. Mercurio the pole. They try the 10-man shot again. I think Villanova has the backup, Sam.
Yep, the Villanova will have it, but clearly it's something Denver is going to keep doing. Anderson let it fly.
Well, Dave Metzbauer is their new offensive coordinator. He's only won 7 national titles as an assistant coach through the years.
Yeah, well, they needed a new one because Matt Brown jumps from the longtime OC to the head coaching role. And
great hire.
Yeah.
And John Gallant and Matt Neufeld, some big-time names on their defensive staff. Neufeld was awesome for Maryland.
Lucchese, pass. Skip it over to McIntyre.
They're sliding to just about everybody right now. Denver's doing a good job with recovery as well.
Just no room to shoot. McIntyre, the Holy Cross transfer, has been really good for Villanova this year. They're trying to get it back to him. Reale with the dangerous pass, and it's taken away by Denver.
So they tried to go backside and dump it down in the middle off ball, but Denver was closing in on that. And remember, it's Denver. Bill Tierney invented the slide, so it's something they're accustomed to playing. Even though they're playing a bit of a different style this year, when it's settled, you're going to see a lot of sliding like Denver, like most years.
Yeah, being able to say you invented the slide, it's got to be, like, you could look at national titles and everything else from a coach, but when you invent a style of play that just carries over to all levels and across the nation.
Bill Tierney is a god in the lacrosse world with 7 national titles. And Matt Brown's pretty confident he can bring home a trophy for the newly named Philadelphia Water Dogs. They've gone with the city names this year in the PLL.
5 seconds and counting in this quarter. Will Denver get one before the horn? The answer is no. Colwell gets that ground ball, and first quarter comes to a close. Villanova scored first, Denver scored second. Nobody scored since. It's 1-1. Go to the second after this.
Defense, you've tuned into the right channel, and I think you might see that quite a bit today because of the way these teams are playing right now. If it's higher scoring, winning and taking more faceoffs, advantage Denver with no Coppola today.
Yes, that was the big story coming in. Justin Coppola, Villanova's top faceoff man, got hurt in the Brown game that the Wildcats won last week.
And that was George Glom's debut, the freshman Fogo. They're trying everything right now. Penalty flag is down. Denver still won it. We'll have to check the call.
Yeah, so welcome aboard, George Glom. Meanwhile, Denver, like you said, Nick, delayed penalty, so see our first man-up situation potentially in just a moment.
And Glom's a wrestler, physical. He has a bright future. I think between next year, Cunningham and Glom, those are 2 awesome face-off guys Villanova will have to throw at a lot of teams.
Lampert. Stevie Jones with the pickup of Lampert, coming off a 2-goal game against Duke. Manning stopped by Wilson. He got low for the save. Caldwell the pickup, and now we'll see the penalty, and we'll see if Denver can take advantage of it. Okay, so now the stats are back on track. So Denver with 10 shots, Villanova 7. Shots on goal 6-1 in favor of Denver. No saves for the Hios keeper, Malcolm Kleben, because only that 1 shot on goal for Dan Martin went through for Villanova.
Yeah, they protected Kleben so far, getting takeaways, and it's worked out really well. We already have 6 caused turnovers for each team through a quarter, which is a defensive stamp on this game, Sam.
Yeah, certainly the case.
If I'm reading that correctly, that's incredible for 1 quarter.
Yeah.
Most teams average that maybe in a game.
I believe it's Sam Parkinson, the midi for Villanova, who's down over there.
It's an interference call, so a foul on Nova.
Whistle here.
So a procedure call on Villanova right there.
So around the horn, Denver trying to take advantage on the man up.
Back to even strength now. Penalty over.
Yep,
quick 30-second call.
And comes back in right after. Said that. Link on the field for Villanova. Villanova's taken 4 faceoffs so far. Glom with 1, Mackey with 1, Cunningham with 2, and ultimately Denver has won 3 of the first 4 at the faceoff X. We'll see if that dominance continues at the dot. Meanwhile, Manning here trying to barge his way in. Nice move. Shot. Blocked by Wilson. Rebound. That's flung high.
So Colwell overplayed his man there, and that's the way they do. They press out, get on your hands, but then Manning was able to zip around him. And how about Anthony Wilson? He's taking off big time. Watch out for 13 and White, Villanova's new goalie. He's getting better and better and better.
Yeah, 3-game win streak for the Villanova Wildcats and 3 losses this year. And you look at who they've played. You talked about the RPI earlier, Nick. Lost to Yale by 2. Lost to Penn here by 3. We were on that call. Wildcats and then Penn State in the opener. So they've played really stiff competition, and they've been in almost every game. The Penn State loss, the only one that was lopsided by 8.
Each of these teams plays a tough top 25 type schedule every year.
Nice adjustment, and the shot goes through. Denver is on top. The Pios with the goal.
Nice turn back that time. Good roll back by Denver. And Wilson, it looked like he was in the right position. And you know Denver, when they can get their hands free, they can make the toughest of shots. That's every single year with the shooters they recruit.
Yeah, admittedly, trying to get a read on it with the number here. I know that's a 7 there. I think that's Malowski. I want to confirm that. Yeah, so it is him, the sophomore from Maple Ridge, British Columbia, to make it 2-1.
Yeah, they really highlighted Malowski, Coach Brown, in our chat yesterday as an extra attacker, essentially. They'll run 2 or 3 midfield lines at you like most years because they always have a big roster and a lot of players.
Yeah, and it might mean nothing to you as an audience member, but I know certainly, Nick, for you now, now that Malowski is wearing 77 out there, so that number changes. Because I thought I saw a 77, and I'm like, well, there's no 77 on the roster. So it is Malowski 77 for Denver, and meanwhile they take another face-off. Well, I was fumbling through all that. So it's all things Denver at the face-off X. Villanova has given up 2 goals in a row, and now the Pios are going to look to extend that lead. Villanova has gone over 15 minutes without a goal.
Well, this happened a couple years ago when the Denver women were here. Their best player, B. Barron, she didn't have the right jersey when this game started. I said, who's this great player? I don't even know who she is, their number. And thankfully, I knew what she looked like. And then we got the late word that they had a jersey issue, and they had to give their star player a new jersey. The Denver women had a comeback win against Georgetown yesterday.
And Carlson took the last shot there. So Malowski with the goal. 2-1 Denver. Shot doesn't go that time on the wraparound attempt for Mick Kelly.
Now, Kelly's a good midfielder. Can play 2 ways. Good second line option for Matt Brown. Kelly was having trouble with his cleat. He had to fix something.
Low shot they go with Carlson again.
And Carlson's a good player, good shooter. But missed the cage by a mile that time.
So it's Denver really just controlling possession here in this second. Villanova not getting scoring opportunities. Defense really having to work. A little slippage on the back end by Ahern, and Carlson decided not to go that route.
Good organization so far, like usual. Villanova's defense rounding into form the last couple of weeks.
Inside of 20 seconds to shoot.
Number 23 defense, number 5 in takeaways. They've done it the last couple of weeks, Sam. And Wilson's playing well. This is the team they expected. Defense first with a younger offense for Nova.
Unforced error for Denver. Like that one back. Richie Connell throws it away. And Villanova get the clear, no.
Nope, Kopecky got pushed legally. He had the ball. That's a pretty clean check. Lost it out of bounds.
Lucas Kopecky now gets back defensively. He marks Lampert as Denver doesn't even have to go back and play defense. They create the turnover on the clear. Yeah, Nick, you talked about the caused turnover numbers in this one. With that last one, it's now 8 for Denver, 7 for Villanova. So we've had 15 combined caused turnovers in the first 20-plus minutes of lacrosse today.
And again, that benefits Nova without Justin Coppola. But this has been Nova the last couple of weeks. They've been very solid defensively, holding Navy and Brown to single digits.
Kopecky couldn't make the stop there. Pass comes across and intercepted. Zupasic.
Mr. Takeaway.
Yeah, he does just that. Make it 8 caused turnovers for the Villanova Wildcats.
Inside Lacrosse midseason All-American, #1 in the nation in caused turnovers for Steven Zupasic, added to the Tuaraton midseason watch list. The best transfer maybe in all of D1 lacrosse. I think on our side, I think he's making quite the impact.
He's got a case. He's got a case. I mean, with everybody transferring now, not to kind of belabor that point because we know what it is, but he's certainly a good one.
Oh, empty stick that time for David Link. The play was set up nicely.
And the redshirt freshman Link couldn't make the shot there, never got to him, but whistle favors Villanova here, and now they're right back to work offensively.
Yeah, giveaway by Denver. So that helps Villanova finally get a little bit of a rest on defense and try and engineer some offense. But it's been tough sledding like it is a lot of years. Denver always knows how to guard people. They always have awesome defenders.
Meanwhile, the big fella, Kleben, he stays in there. He's not made a save yet, but he's only faced one shot. Low scoring first half here on the main line. Licata bounces around.
You figure a lot of years, Denver's used to having the ball with winning so many faceoffs for a decade, and their defense always very sound.
Put back goal. Mishner, he's been on one of late. He picks it up and ties the game at 2.
Wow, kind of a garbage goal that time where it was unsettled, and Villanova, you get into one of your flashiest. He might be the flashiest player on the field with Colin Mishner. Showstopper goal against Brown. They try to tie it up here more on the faceoff against Stathakis.
Again, Coppola not in there. Don't want to belabor the point, but it is an important one.
No, it's a big storyline. We have to mention it, and you need your wings to be involved. So push it to Zupasic and company, and a great job by Trip Robinson to gather the ground ball. And that's what Villanova will be doing, throwing the kitchen sink at everybody.
Robinson part of that unit there. He comes up with it, and now Villanova goes down with the chance to retake the lead.
It'll have to be a team face-off approach as Cunningham went up against Stathakis that time.
The face-off's going 4-2 here.
Villanova's won 2 of 6. Denver's won 4 of 6 thus far.
Lucchese forced out. Mishner recollects, 30 to shoot. Tough angle shot. Mishner is forced outside.
How about this, Sam? Stathakis moves into 11th place on the all-time NCAA face-off wins list, tying Ben Williams, the former Syracuse Fogo. 855 face-off wins apiece for Stathakis and Ben Williams.
Feels like a lot. 10 to shoot. Licata being hounded. Pass. Anderson was just all over him and forces the shot clock violation.
And that
Denver
starts the transition as well.
They get out on the break. That's big. We're not forced to slow down. They were able to get out and run.
That was actually key for Villanova to quickly get back and get organized instead of setting up a 10-man. That was really smart there by Chris Miller and the defense for Nova. There's nowhere to go right now on offense. Simon Connor telling me yesterday we have to clean up the turnovers on offense, but tough sledding against Denver's defense right now.
Carlson couldn't get around Zupasic there, so let's see what Denver does from X. Lampert had the initial give, and covered up in goal by Wilson. He picks it up. Silstrop never got a clean handle on it.
Yeah, and Colwell and Aiden Ahern in the right spot, and that's been Villanova in recent weeks. They've been super structured on defense. Watch out for that sideline.
Yeah, Shoemaker was walking the tightrope, and Villanova ultimately does bring it across. So now the Wildcats, once again, chance to take the lead here. Talk about a low-scoring first half.
Well, I think this is on repeat with a lot of games we've done this year. There's not a Matt Campbell or a Wes Berg or an Ethan Walker in some of the games we're broadcasting, right? It's just a lot of solid all-conference type of guys, maybe not 2 or 3 All-Americans dominating.
Bo's looking for the angle. Pops out of his stick. Denver the other way. Here come the Pios.
9 caused turnovers apiece in one half.
Denver wanting to move quickly.
Anthony Wilson's been awesome so far. As Denver's been able to get their hands free a bit more, Sam. 7 saves already for the new A-Train.
Has he been called the A-Train by anybody else? Or are
No, we're giving it to him.
You're
He
dubbing him the
deserves
A-Train?
it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not opposed. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I was talking to Andy Hillgartner, the McDonough coach, and he had so many good things to say about McDonough as a college-ready type goalie, and he's gotten even better as the season's gone along. And a lot of these Villanova players have.
30 to shoot. Avery seeking the opening. A lot longer possessions of late for Denver. Tough shot and a big finish. The Pios go up 3-2.
So they're capable of making those shots every year because they get the slick shooters in recruiting. That's the first time today we see any kind of fancy maneuvering. Just changing your plane and your level because Wilson's been seeing the ball so well. So why not try a high to low maneuver? And that was actually very crafty and smart by Denver.
Yeah, so that was Malowski there, and that was a number 17. So, oh no, that is a 70. No, it's 17. I think that one just kind of looks like a 7 there on the Pios jersey.
But they had it 77 in the stats as well.
Right. No, I think they got confused in the stats just like I did up here.
Well, I thought it looked like 77. Now it looks like 17.
Malowski, the goal, and that was no question, a 17. So they got Malowski with 1 goal and now 2 goals.
Cunningham did his best to try and make it a scrum, just go down, be physical. That's a good tactic against a warrior like Stathakis, but Denver still wins the draw.
Unsettled. Lampert had to shade over, throws it to Zupasic.
Another takeaway for Zoop.
Yeah, he'll get the takeaway, and they turn it right back over. I think Shoemaker really forced the issue that time for Villanova on that takeaway opportunity, and Denver wants to talk shop with 3:12 to go in the second. So, bit of a track meet developing here at Villanova Stadium. That stat here, but it's just simple, the amount of possessions, extreme for Denver versus Villanova.
That's what the coaches want on the NCAA stats going forward, possessions per game, and they have it on the analytical side, so the coaches track that. But in terms of the media and the national audience, they want that to be a new stat that's kept. So we're making it a point. Possessions per game, let's have it.
Right, I mean, you can't really factor in stats at any kind of critical level unless you're talking about how many opportunities a team has.
That's why you have to watch the games and not just look at the stats.
Maneuverability there. Then the pressure comes. Kelly still with it. Wilson out of the crease. He falls down. Looks like a good opportunity for Denver to shoot, and they're going to get nothing out of it. Silstrop had the open goal, but just didn't have the opening to shoot.
And Denver's had some slow starts this year. They have those awesome 4-goal comeback wins. Did it in the opener against Hopkins. Silstrop, magic, tying the game with no seconds left on the clock. He had scored a few seconds before that. He had the game winner in overtime against the Blue Jays. And then another good comeback win against Cornell. They played well at home.
Shot there, won't do the trick from Lucchese.
Lucchese's playing better, but not a lot of mustard on his shot against Cleveland.
Yeah, and that was the first save for Cleveland in this game, actually. So
out of bounds.
Yep, Villanova forces the unsuccessful clear, and here come the Wildcats.
So a giveaway, and that's a tough one for Denver, but Villanova will certainly take it.
11 caused turnovers for Villanova, 10 for Denver.
Incredible numbers through a half.
Yeah, not for the game, for a half.
Barely. We're not even done the first half.
There's a 14-second differential, game clock to shot clock. With the shot clock a little shorter than the game clock here.
And there's been plenty of offense when these teams have played through the years, the quote-unquote higher scoring type of games for the most part.
So Villanova content, just letting this clock simmer down a little bit.
Yeah, I would just take this all the way down if I'm Villanova.
That's what Licata seems like he's ready to do. Freehill is there waiting for him once he plans to move. It's less than 20 seconds on that shot clock. Licata, top point getter for Villanova. Just not been open all day.
Yeah, they've guarded him well. They've been sliding to him very aggressively.
5 to shoot. Lets it fly and scores. Licata's first of the day.
Now, Matt Brown said we haven't faced a lot of rollback guys. Change of direction. Number 2 in the Big East in points per game. He's had a terrific year. Kopecky taking the draw.
Villanova trying a bit of everything. Licata has a beat on it. Physical attempt to seize this ground ball.
Wondering if they give Denver that faceoff win with a second left. Player down, clock stops with under a second left. I think Denver might get credited with the win.
Yeah, so we'll see where things stand in just a moment. Casey Wilson, the short stick D-midi, went down. And Denver.
They gave it to Kopecky, the win. They called it a win, but then a foul on Nova.
Yeah, sometimes the face-off stat, you'll have the win, but doesn't amount to an extra possession there, and that's how this half ends. So it's 3-3. Denver, Villanova, we got a good one here at Villanova Stadium. Big East opener between the Wildcats and the Pios. Licata evens the score at 3. He got 6 combined goals. Villanova's got the last one. Coming back after this on Flow.
The Stathicus, that was so fun to watch. Ethan Walker had the game winner in overtime. Remember, Villanova had to face Sisselberger that week, Stathicus, and T.D. Erlin all in the span of 5 days. It was crazy.
And that is a tough stretch of guys to face at the
Sisselberger set the all-time single-season record. T.D. Erlin, all-time face-off percentage leader in NCAA history, all-time wins leader. And that was after you figured nobody would beat Trevor Baptiste's records. And then look at all the dominating face-off guys that have happened since. So talk about a golden era of Fogos in college lacrosse over the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, and if you want to go back to that 2019 game you alluded to out in Denver, Denver was 10th in the rankings that game. Villanova receiving votes, both holding true here today. Something to just keep in the back of your mind for what it's worth. So the Pios with the opening possession here in the third.
Stathicus is 6 of 9. He's moved into 11th place on the all-time NCAA face-off wins list.
30 seconds on this shot clock here.
And we all thought who would replace Trevor Baptiste once upon a time. They had Brett Bowes for a year. Then they brought in Stathicus. He's been awesome over the last 5 years.
Lampert at X.
That was 5-on-5 for a second there.
Shoots off the side of the net. Picked up by Wilson, the redshirt freshman keeper who directs traffic as Villanova comes up with the stop on the first defensive possession of the third.
Coach Corrado working on the clearing game over the last couple of weeks. They've worked out the substitution box better with Coach Woody. It's all developing for Nova. Can they get more crisp on offense? They've had turnovers. It was really breaking through against Navy, Sam. That was the best performance of the season, top to bottom for Nova. But now they have to get back to a better ball sharing and better shooting like that.
Yeah, nice accurate shot, but Kleben, the save, and eventually recovers in the crease.
First dynamite plays of the day for Kleben, and he made back-to-back saves.
Against the 10-man ride, we talked about it. Would Denver continue to fire? They do, but Shoemaker was there to leap up.
I think that's an advantage, especially if Stathicus just keeps on winning as many faceoffs, if it's at least a little bit higher scoring, which means Villanova doesn't have to play as much defense. But I think Matt Brown's willing to take those chances, and I think Coach Corrado is happy to let the team take those chances in this cat and mouse battle.
Licata tied it up right before halftime. He had it for a moment, but Newton surrounded.
And offense is a premium, tough to score, so why not take those 10-man ride shots?
Anderson the matchup on Licata. Been dealing with him at X.
There's the slide.
30 to shoot.
Great job by Hanglin on that last slide and recovery for Denver. 41 in red.
Slapped out to Licata. It'll stay with Villanova, but shot clock at 22.
Yeah, Freehill, Hanglin, or DiBenedetto. They could be the #1 for any team.
Tough shot that time on the run for Lucchese. Villanova with 16 on the timer.
Now, Lucchese has some star power, 7 in white. He will be a terrific player down the line for Nova.
A very young Villanova team. That's kind of been the thought coming into the year. Showing a lot of growth. Only 2 seconds to shoot. Do they sense it? Nope, they do not. Newton holds on to it, and that's a shot clock violation.
Once again, you just have to credit the Denver defense.
Io's looking to go unsettled. Wilson rushes back to the crease. He gets beat. Manning his second of the game, and Denver ahead 4-3.
So instead of taking the 10-man shot, Matt Brown said, we can go quick in transition if it's not a settled possession, and that's the first run out we've seen all day for a layup. And Wilson had to backtrack and retreat that time. So that was the first time we saw Denver really catch Villanova truly napping.
Michael Lampert from Wayland, Massachusetts, team lead in assists, dishing out the dime. And Denver back in front.
Yeah, Lampert's been a good feeder this year, and we've discussed how good of a shooter Noah Manning is. And the fast break that Denver's employed more so this year, if it's not a super settled situation, as Matt Brown told us yesterday.
Cunningham is taking his 7th face-off of the game here. He's taken the bulk of Villanova face-offs. No Justin Coppola today. And Denver dominating at the dot.
That Stathakis wins another one.
So he's 7 out of 10.
Product out of Culver, Michigan native. 60% in his career. He's second amongst active face-off wins. He went up against Jake Naso, who's #1 amongst active face-off specialists and active wins amongst current college players.
Villanova playing a lot of defense here in this third quarter.
Coppola's #5 in terms of active face-off wins.
Avery. Maybe rush the pass because Stevie Jones was pressuring him. Villanova creates the turnover. Villanova 10 for 12 on clears.
Yeah, I think it'll be tough for anybody to reach what T.D. Erlin and Trevor Baptiste did. The most wins in college lacrosse history at the dot. T.D. Erlin, 1,245 wins. Baptiste, 1,158 wins. The 2 best of all time.
Villanova looking to tie this one back up. We're even at 3 at the halftime break. But Villanova taking 7 shots on goal to Denver's 12. Licata, no room to dodge there. Nice movement. Martin misses wide. Who was closest? It is going to stay here.
They say Villanova. Matt Brown disagrees big time. He thought his team was closer. That was tough on the officials. It was pretty close.
Yeah, a bit of a foot race there for sure.
Only 18 left on the timer.
Villanova had a shot clock violation last possession. What do they do here?
Let's see if they take more chances. Maybe just try to jam it inside a bit.
Newton looking for an opening. He just has to let it fly with 4 to shoot. Villanova will keep, but presumably just dump it to the corner here. And that's what they do.
Can they have anybody to win your one-on-one matchups? Right now, Denver's winning that battle. You figure Villanova just has to be a little bit more creative with their slick ball work, but Denver has been terrific today in preventing Villanova from getting any off-ball openings.
Pio's break ahead. They've scored the first goal of the third. Can they get the second and build up a 2-goal lead? Seen this game sway back and forth here.
How about St. John's? They take down Marquette. Just went final 13-9. Justin Turry's Red Storm. They get a Big East win. It's been a while.
Yeah, seriously, good for St. John's. They've had some big upsets in history, but for a while they've had trouble winning in the Big East. Tough conference to win in, and they've not had success. So nice to see them pick that win up. Shot deflected on the way in. It somehow finds the back of the net. Silstrop initially shot it. We'll see how it got deflected in, but Denver leads 5-3.
You and I call plenty of soccer, Sam, so that's an own goal essentially, right?
That hit off the back of Sam Parkinson there, it looks like.
Yeah, just a tough one. How many times do we talk about breaks over the course of a season and lucky bounces? That one was very unlucky for Nova.
Unlucky indeed. JJ Silstrop, I believe, gets credit there. He took the shot. That would be his 19th of the year.
That's how good of a shooter Silstrop is, right?
he was aiming for the back of Parkinson, and Lampert's going to get an assist after that one's all said and done. So now Denver, another win on the face-off, and they come right back down after that unfortunate break for Villanova. They got to play another minute on defense here.
I couldn't believe that opening week. It was the only game on watching Denver and Hopkins, and Silstrop a goal with 44 seconds left. Then he tied it at the buzzer. Then he won it in overtime. 6 goals, and 3 of them happened in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, Silstrop, a fluky play, but he's no fluke. Someone that's matured a whole lot for this Denver team. We spoke with Matt Brown yesterday. He was raving about him. Early on, guys, they come in highly touted, reap the rewards of some of the work of the older players, but he talks about the work that Silstrop has put in over the years and the kind of leader he's been. There he is again, but Wilson runs it down.
He's probably their best overall option on offense and has been the last couple of years, but Wilson able to deny him.
And Wilson's given up technically 5 goals today. I don't know in what world you could, if you're actually going to evaluate it outside of just stats, knock him for how that last one went in.
The key has been Anthony Wilson's play. The defense has been good in front of him. His save percentage speaks for itself. He's over 60% again, like he has been over the last 3 weeks.
So Licata from X looking to get Villanova within 1.
Michener was in the crease.
He steps in, and that's a turnover for the Villanova Wildcats. And Denver, when they can break, they will try to.
AJ Mercurio, the excellent pull, helps lead the transition.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Mercurio much today, but he certainly has racked up a lot of accolades over the years. One of the 3 preseason All-Big East guys for Denver.
And other than graduating, Malik Sparrow and Jack Thompson had been the starting goalie before Cleveland more or less took his spot last year. Denver pretty much has every single player back this year.
Shot through, and Denver extends the lead. Stephen Avery on the run gives Denver its 3rd of the quarter.
Avery's a terrific all-conference player out of Nashville. He had 7 goals against Ohio State last year. This guy can definitely score. Only Ethan Walker and Wes Berg and Matt Brown have more goals in a game in Denver history than Stephen Avery.
4 goals for Avery now, and yeah, you mentioned Matt Brown. I mean, spent 18 years on the staff prior to taking the job with Bill Tierney retiring, and now Bill Tierney, GM of the Philly Water Dogs, to be clear, but Matt Brown, a terrific career when he played for Denver early in their days as a Division I program.
Villanova nearly had the face-off win. It was right there in front of George Glum, the rookie, who's made his debut today. 34 in white, just missed it.
So again, we figured face-off X, that's going to be big. Denver having the edge there with...
But Nova's had possessions in the 3rd quarter. It's been pretty even. The Wildcats just have not been able to get any offense.
And there's not really a way to quantify this outside of just goals going through, but you have to figure the amount of time Villanova spent on defense throughout the day might be catching up to them a little bit, even if it's not as much they're spending in the 3rd. They really had to exert a lot of energy on that end of the first half.
And 2 of the 3 goals, Denver's gone a little bit early, and you give them credit for finding those openings.
Bouncer doesn't go. McKelly tried to massage one in. Villanova possession.
They call that a turnover.
Yeah, they have 4:40 to go in this quarter, and they have not scored since halftime. Licata had the late goal in the first half, but Villanova's been dry in this third.
I think those couple of early saves back-to-back on those 2 open shots that Villanova had to start the third quarter, and Kleben made his 2 best saves of the game, and they happened again back-to-back.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you look at turning points, and then you have the ball that goes off the back of Parkinson. He was turned. It wasn't on him. It was just a fortunate bounce for Denver on the Silstrop goal.
Can Villanova get more open, more cuts, more backside plays off ball? That's what they're looking for.
Martin, he had the first goal today.
Trying to initiate with different guys. They're trying something.
The tough defense to go against. Licata bumped off the spot. Ettinger came over to greet him. Sticks with him around the crease. Pass, shot. No, but there's a push. No, they say he was in the crease.
But it's a push. He got pushed in.
They get the push call, yep. Newton was in the crease. He was pushed in. So now Denver having to play defense again for 60 seconds. Here was the push. Yep, can't do that. Trying to say, no, he was in the crease. He was in the crease. Yeah, it's because you pushed him there. So Newton. Licata. Fake the shot.
Jimmy Freehill has had a wonderful day defending.
Bouncing ball. Whacked away. Newton thought he had it, but finds its way to Raymond.
They tried to find Lucas Newton inside, but he came up empty.
That timer goes down to 10, and Villanova will not get another shot. Turnover for the Wildcats. Denver back the other way.
Yeah, it's been frustrating for Villanova's offense. They've tried to initiate with different guys, but still not finding an answer. And it hasn't been just easy to dodge and win your matchup.
Off the ride, Villanova.
That was just a bad pass, bad shot, whatever you want to call it, right to Villanova.
It certainly was a pass. Silstrop was waiting, but so was Shoemaker, who picks it off.
A 3-goal deficit doesn't sound like a lot, but it's not a high-scoring game, so this is a bigger deficit when it's lower scoring like this. But at least you're getting the possession, Sam. I think that's noteworthy for Villanova. Without Coppola, they still had the ball plenty today.
Yeah, face-offs are 9-3 in favor of Denver. Villanova's caused 1 extra turnover, so then you make up for one of those there, and then pass never gets through, and here come the Pios after the pickup. Anderson scrapes it off the turf, feeds it. Ball movement, fake the shot, and Lampert wisely pulls it out, sensing time here.
Trip Robinson was running out of the box to make sure they get the right personnel on the field, and now they will.
26-second difference shot to game clock here as this third winds down. So Denver can milk most of this clock. They're taking their time, looking to get one more shot. They've outscored Villanova 3-0 here in the third. The 4-0 third quarter edge would really put them in the driver's seat the way this game is played out. Each possession becoming more and more critical with this game winding down. Less than half a minute to shoot. Whistle.
Moving pick.
Denver turns it over, but they do use a lot of time on that possession, even though they come up empty-handed. Now Villanova's got to clear. Shoemaker redirects to the keeper, Wilson. Jones looking to make his move.
Here's the punt return by Stevie.
Yeah, football season, it's not too far. I was thinking it the other day, it always creeps up on you. So no shot clock, third quarter coming to an end. Villanova looking for its first and would be only goal of the third.
Maybe they'll try and run somebody out of the box like they did there.
Raymond trying to go low. Not a bad idea, but off target. Denver picks it up, and they have it for the final 5 seconds. Wilson back in goal. Ball overhead. And this quarter will come to an end after Wilson heaves it in just a moment. There it is. Third quarter's done. Villanova scoreless since halftime. Denver has opened up a 3-goal lead here on the main line. Fourth quarter coming up on Flosports.
Few more, and they'll try Lucas Kopecky. Remember, he's not a face-off guy anymore. They moved him to short stick starting last year, but without Justin Coppola, the big story, took another hit against Brown for the second straight year. He's out today, and Stathakis won all 4 face-offs in that third quarter.
Noah Manning and Cody Malowski, each with 2 goals to lead the Denver Pioneers.
So Kopecky gets one.
Yeah, 3 guys with 1 goal for Villanova so far, and Commissioner Licata and Martin. Jones loops it ahead, too high for Kopecky. So they get the face-off win they desperately needed, but they cannot actually get into their offense, and now here come the Pios.
Each team has double-digit takeaways. Both teams have done that this year, but that's Villanova's 20th turnover, as they've had more turnovers this year compared to most years, and they're usually, with Coach Corrado's teams, usually in the top 10, top 5 in terms of fewest turnovers per game. So there's the sign of a younger team still growing.
Yeah, it took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, once you mentioned the turnover numbers, yeah, younger team. But Denver's got 19 turnovers itself today. Cordolani matched up with Jones. Here's Lampert. Uses the pick. Slips the pass in, and the shot a little wide. We're looking for Richie Connell out of Evergreen, Colorado.
Connell's a good player. He'd be a starter for most teams. Comes in as an extra attackman.
Shoemaker comes over to help. 20 to shoot for Denver. Silstrop, he had 1 goal in the third. Top scorer for Denver. He had a shot that he fired off the back of Villanova midi Sam Parkinson. That one hits the pipe, and it went through. So it's a goal for Michael Lampert.
And the Boston kid scores here in Philly.
Lampert, he's already been dishing out assists today. He has 2 assists. Now he's got a goal to add with it. We'll take another look at that finish. Shot clock winding down, and he just slips one behind Wilson.
Yeah, quick little invert play, and one of the better shots of the day by anybody, frankly, where Wilson was in a good spot. He just stung the corner.
Denver leading 7-3. That's 4 unanswered goals for the Pioneers. Kopecky stays in to take the face-off for Villanova. They won the last one, didn't get possession off it. Kopecky wins it here. He had not taken a face-off all season long. Remember, Coppola, it's not just that he's great at the face-off. It's that he was the only guy taking face-offs because he's great at it. He was taking 204 of them through Villanova's first 9 games. Cunningham had taken 29. Nobody else took a single face-off coming into today. So it was a big test to have these guys go against an all-conference guy like Alex Stathakis.
And remember, to repeat, they moved Kopecky to a short stick last year and a little bit of a man-down defender in a completely new role his last 2 years. So he's back taking face-offs like his youth days.
Shot goes through. Nicholas Lucchese answers right back. The freshman from right here in Villanova, Pennsylvania, with the goal.
Tricky Nicky making a wonderful shot here on Easter weekend. That was beautiful. He has so much potential. The coaches have been raving about him in practice. He sometimes looks like the best guy on the field, has major wheels, big-time recruit. Just another younger guy for Villanova finding his way, but he has all the tools.
8th goal for Lucchese. And right back within 3 of the Villanova Wildcats, but 12:45 to go. See if these back-to-back goals between these teams within the last minute will wake up the offensive firepower in this game, which for the most part, it's been a defensive battle, a lot of turnovers.
Kopecky really dove at Stathakis that time. Alex scored before against Villanova.
The shovel. Ball movement. Lampert fakes, frees himself, and scores. Michael Lampert heating up. He's got 2 goals in the last minute.
That's more like old school Denver where they get really open and bury all their shots. And that was unsettled. They've had some unsettled goals here in the second half. Credit to the kids finding the pass. Villanova wasn't able to get set up. And credit Denver there. And another good shot by Lampert up into the beautiful upper 90 spot. Back-to-back lasers.
Had 2 goals against Duke in Denver's last game. He's got 2 here to pair with 2 assists against the Villanova Wildcats.
Played well in that win over Cornell with 1 and 4 that day.
Another face-off for Denver. They look to move quickly. The long pole shot is good. The Pios get another one. That time it's Jimmy Freehill. No apologies, that time it was Mercurio. 4th of the year for AJ Mercurio.
The boy from Reno, is he taking a gamble there? I don't think so.
I see what you did there.
He's betting on himself.
See what you did there again. 9-4 Denver. AJ Mercurio, 4 goals, 2 assists this year. Comes up in that unsettled situation and knocks it through.
He didn't put it on black, he put it on
red.
Of course. Denver having a great second half. Unsettled. Mercurio's great in the middle of the field. Pios running away with it right now.
11-4 the rest of the game.
Justin Turry's a great coach, turning around St. John's. Remember, they didn't win a game at all last year. Went 0 for the entire season. So, boy, you talk about winning some Super Bowl-like games for St. John's. That must feel really great for them.
Yeah, certainly the case. So we just had the long pole goal from Mercurio and another face-off for the Denver Pioneers.
There have been a lot of close games when these teams have played before. A lot of 1-goal gems or games where Baptiste won a ton of face-offs and you didn't see the ball. But Villanova's had the ball today, Sam.
Yeah, they've had their opportunities, no doubt about it. Certainly a different dynamic not having Coppola there, but Denver has taken the reins of this game. Silstrop forcing Caldwell out wide. Nice matchup between 2 all-conference guys, Twarton watch list guys. I believe it's a Denver fight song being sung beneath us here.
We hear it loud and clear.
Oh, yeah. Pios fans, loud and proud. 10 still to shoot for Denver.
That 2015 season was magical, winning the national championship right here in Philly at the Link. That semifinal win against Notre Dame was awesome. You thought Perkovic with all those goals, all those step downs, you thought Notre Dame might win it, and then Westberg showed up and won that semifinal game for Denver. That was the best game of that weekend.
That's good. You want the best game of the weekend to be the last game.
Well, that was the semifinal.
Right. Okay, so
but that was the best game that weekend. Sometimes the semifinal games are the best games, Coop.
Well, I mean, they, Miracle on Ice, right?
Was a semi or a quarter?
That was the semi.
It was a semi.
They beat the USSR, and then they still had to go in and win the championship, and they did, winning a gold medal. They made a movie about that one, Nick.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, called Miracle. You heard?
I've seen it.
Very good movie, yes. So we got 10:20 to play in this. Villanova just trying to find its footing, and not happening here. Martin keeps possession and scores his second of the day. So all of a sudden, Dan Martin adds a fourth quarter goal.
Dan Martin swimming with the Sharks that time. He kind of had to zip through a little bit to change his angle. He's a strong player, and he's capable of making plays like that. And you're wondering, can a player win his matchup, win a one-on-one when the offense hasn't worked today? You feel like Villanova, they're having a down day. Do they have enough time left to make a comeback down by 4 when offense has not been at a premium? That's a good start if you're Nova.
And Villanova on the procedure will have the face-off, so okay.
That's a break?
Yeah. You need those throughout the course of a comeback.
Big possession for Nova, just to maybe get the juices flowing a little bit. You get within 3, still around 10 minutes left. Been able to win a few face-offs, even though Stathakis has had another great day.
Room to shoot and score. What a finish for Will Wheeler.
I was wondering if Simon would call somebody else's number, and they go to the senior from Seattle. Silky smooth.
What a goal for your first of the year, Will Wheeler with the score.
Now they have some veterans on this team, some second-line guys essentially. You talk about a great shot on the run that time. And just like that, you get your first goals of the second half.
And Villanova and Denver, each with 3 goals here in the fourth, but Denver outscored them 3-0 in the third. That's the difference here with 9:44 to play.
So suddenly, Villanova is right back in it. So a scoring after that face-off violation. That was a big play for Nova.
Face-off still 12-6 in favor of the Pios. Stick goes flying from
Kopecky
Stathakis.
did a good job on the box out to get Shoemaker the ball. And he lost his stick, so I think Denver might get it.
Yeah, so Stathakis initially lost his stick, then Shoemaker towards the out-of-bounds line also had his stick.
I think that's what Coach Corrado's asking for. Both guys lost their stick. Why is Denver getting that call? I think it's a good point, Kuba. I'm glad you brought that up.
I try to make the good ones, not the bad ones. I'll take it.
You made the good call there, Sammy.
I'll take it. So it's Denver that will have possession. Yeah, the stick of Shoemaker. I think, this is just me guessing, I think that they probably made the claim that he was out of bounds already.
Possibly.
Yeah,
it might have looked worse in terms of the officials and what they saw in their angle.
Yeah. Moot point here, because Denver's got possession, and now they're going to try and take a lot of time and or get a good shot.
But I like how they've maneuvered against Stathakis. Kopecky's throwing some different moves at the box-out play there to get the ball to Shoemaker. You might have another takeaway here.
It's been a game of caused turnovers. Villanova's 13th. Can they score off it? Unsettled. Here they go. They make it a 2-goal game. Licata snakes around. There's nothing there.
They tried to go early, but nothing was wide open, so they didn't force it.
Yeah, Denver was thankful to have Jack DiBiento, the preseason All-American, back there to hang with Licata at X. Lucchese unloads. Not sure if that hit the stick on the way in. Looked like it may have deflected off Adam Hangland's stick.
But he got his hands free, and I'm glad he took that because that's worked all of a sudden for Nova. Just letting your athletes make some plays.
Certainly getting a lot more open looks than they did, even though the second quarter, after it, they were tied at 3. They were not getting clean looks.
You get a little bit tired defensively as the game goes along. Maybe some guys can get themselves open.
It hits the pipe from Michener. It'll stay with Villanova, but tough break. Colin Michener with a missile on goal, but it hits the crossbar.
And they're being more aggressive. They're working a little bit harder to get more open and getting their shots off. So credit to Villanova's guys after that third quarter break. I think they hit the reset button and starting to feel some energy here.
Michener draws 2. Ground ball collected, or rather not a ground ball, but the pickup there for McIntyre, and 45 to shoot. The Wheeler came in to score that goal. Now he's seeing some extended time here. Like Corrado trying everything. Lucchese, tough wraparound opportunity.
That should be a push.
And Licata was unquestionably pushed into the crease.
And that'll reset the shot clock as well.
It gives Villanova more time to work with, but time altogether working against them. Start to have limited possessions left in this game.
But I think they'll take that call. Lucchese made a nice move, and then the push call. And Denver still sliding aggressively on Villanova's invert plays. So they've tried some backside rollbacks and pick plays to try and get some guys open.
Raymond, nothing there. Bouncer from Martin. He was going for a hat trick.
Creative, something different.
We haven't seen a lot of low shots against the big man Kleben.
Did Coach Corrado call a timeout? The officials are...
Seems to be some confusion over that, what it ends up being.
Usually I hear the officials before a lot of games are always talking about clock issues. Let's take our time. In what's been a really quick-moving game, because there hasn't been a lot of stoppages because there's been less goals, it's a really quick-moving game today.
Yes,
Not a lot of fouls either.
Yeah, no. Lightning fast. They've added 5 seconds onto the clock, both shot clock and the game clock.
Denver pressing out a little bit more, like they have this year and today.
Shot for Raymond is saved by Kleben. Outlet. Really nice pass from Kleben. The big fella finds his target on the run. Pass Lampert. Selstrop recovers. Couldn't pot it home, though.
Matt Brown talked to us yesterday about how well Kleben's done in the clearing game, just like that. Getting the ball out of his stick to start some earlier transition where Denver's been able to get some faster goals this year. And a few today. And Villanova catches a break there as Denver was looking dangerous on that last run out.
Lucas Klaukiu is dancing with it for a little while. Playing a little closer to home from the Albany, New York area, town of Niskayuna.
Yeah, they really like close Q as a big score for them going down the line.
Inside of 6 to play. Still got just under half a minute for Denver to shoot. They're inclined to take that time.
Anthony Wilson still at 50%. Started a lot better in the first half, but all in all, another good day.
And Villanova's got to be pleased with what they've seen out of the redshirt freshman. Silstrop can't fire it on goal. And in the crease there is the pickup for Wilson. And Villanova moving with tempo. Time is not on their side, and they know it. The long pole shot from Zupasic is saved.
Zup had an opening.
Other way, big collision. Nice spin.
Stevie Jones might have gotten hit with the ball when that last shot came through for Denver on the way towards Anthony Wilson. And we've seen Zupasic can his shots this year, but that was more or less right at Kleben where he had a good view of it.
Under 5 to play. Save for Wilson on the running shot attempt by Ty Hussey. And another clock issue. Want to make sure the shot clock resets. That's why we're paused for a moment.
Yeah, it was a save, so it resets to 60, even though it was an early shot.
Yeah. And it wasn't a shot that was very forceful. It was a shot, all the same. It resets to 60, but easy how you could not be ready for that the way that delivery came out.
And Denver should just take this all the way down.
That's what they're doing. Lampert backing up to the corner. Shoemaker watches him. Got 15 to shoot. Lampert pass deflected, but finds its way in, and shot not on target from Tortolani. 9 to shoot, 3:55 to play. Around the screen, Silstrop reverses it. Got a good look for Lampert. Rebound opportunity, and the shot stopped.
Shot it right at the timer was going off.
It was Anderson who came up from his defensive spot.
So still a little bit of an opening for Villanova, but you need a goal per minute and face-off wins.
Okay, so Denver's done a good job of bringing this clock down. They were up 9-4. Villanova scored the last 2 goals, but Denver has shortened the game, and Villanova's path to a comeback has been made very tough here in these waning moments. Will Wheeler scored the last Wildcat goal. Here he goes.
Oh, Kleben kept it between his legs.
Yeah, wanted to wait and see. Did that squeeze through, but it did not. Kleben, 6 foot 260 from the Big Apple. Just a massive goalkeeper. Brick wall back there. Here's a look. Wheeler. Oh, how about that? What a way to make a save.
Right into the Easter basket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kleben's over 50%. He's had a good second half, and he's had some good games this year.
We got 2:25 to play. And Denver doesn't have to shoot for another 35 seconds.
Kleben had a good day against Ohio State, good game against Utah, Air Force. Over 60% in a lot of those games. And obviously when you have a good defense in front of you, that'll help out any goalie.
Yeah, so the first couple shots Villanova took went in for goals. So Kleben with 7 saves. Saved 7 of the last 11 shots that have come his way.
Wilson made another stop, gave up a rebound. Shoemaker going after it.
Pick up, and under 2 to play. Villanova's going to scramble here. Kopecky up ahead. Need a goal quickly, and then need to win faceoffs, and you need a lot of things to go your way here with the way this has panned out.
I think a strong finish here that'll make Coach Corrado happy.
That hits the outside of the post for McIntyre. Accurate shot, but it's picked up by Denver.
Licata tried to force a turnover on the ride, but he got leveled.
Got leveled and then some.
And then a call after that. Matt Brown's wondering what happened with the call. It looked like a clean hit. The defender's bigger than Licata. Sometimes the big guy wins that matchup. But Licata hit the deck hard. I think that's what they're calling.
Down to the final minute, thereabouts.
This were a 2-goal game or a 1-goal game, that call's more important, and Villanova gives it away. But so does Denver.
Yeah, that's been the story of this game. The turnover numbers just have to be updated every moment. I believe on that one, that's the 22nd Denver turnover. Villanova's got 20, but there's a world where we might be one behind there. So regardless, these teams have combined for over 40 turnovers.
Each team has 1 timeout left. You can't take them home.
That is a fact. You cannot take them with you. So Villanova will talk this over.
Tournament is at Villanova this year.
Mm-hmm. Yep, but Denver and Villanova, they face each other in the postseason a lot.
So we might see this same matchup here in this very stadium.
And Villanova got the semifinal win 2 years ago. Last year, Denver avenged that loss. And Villanova trying to get a quick goal here. Wheeler bounced off the spot. McIntyre steps in. Bouncing pass off target. Looking for Martin. That should do it. Denver with possession here. And the Pios trying to go back home with a 1-0 mark in Big East play.
They came to the East Coast last week. 10-man ride shot again.
Doesn't go that time from Jimmy Freehill. Uncorking it downfield.
Why not? With 17 seconds left, right?
Jones here. Pass ahead. Will Villanova get one more close-up shot on this one?
Shoemaker was good today, and he shoots it.
Shot wide.
Former pole, so he's capable of canning that.
And with 2 seconds left, Licata passes, and we're all done here. 9-6, Denver the win. The Pioneers come to Villanova and leave victorious. They move to 18-4 all-time against the Villanova Wildcats. And Denver moves its record to 7-2. The number 9 team in the nation starts off Big East play 1-0.